As you may already know, Rome is the capital of Italy, and it's also a great destination to do your Erasmus. If Rome is going to be your Erasmus destination or you're still considering it, I am Morgan from Erasmus Play, and in this video I bring you the ultimate guide for Erasmus students in Rome. The first thing we will talk about is, of course, accommodation, as this is a very important part of the journey. As accommodation options, you have flats or residences. However, in Rome it's very common for students to stay in shared flats, as there are very few residences for Erasmus students in the Italian capital, and the ones that do exist are quite expensive and far from the center. If you're wondering which ones are the best areas to live in Rome, here's what we have to say. If you're going to study at La Sapienza, the San Lorenzo neighborhood and the Piazza Bologna area are very good options. The San Lorenzo neighborhood is home of La Sapienza University, so it's an area full of students. And at night, there's always a great atmosphere. Other areas full of students and very well connected to the rest of the city are the area of San Giovanni and Re di Roma. There you will find several metro stops, so you will be able to move around the city without any problems. Also, since the University of Tor Vergata is so far from the center, many students from this university choose to live in this area. Another neighborhood is Trastevere, which is Rome's most bohemian quarter. Basically, it's where everything trendy and touristy is concentrated. So if you're looking for a more local atmosphere, but not far from the city center, this neighborhood can be a very good option. You'll also find plenty of restaurants, pizzerias, places to have a drink, etc. If you are going to study at the University of Roma Tre, we recommend that you consider the Garbatella or Ostiense neighborhoods, as they are very close to the university and have several metro stops. In any case, you will find a lot of students in both neighborhoods, and these would be the most popular areas where you will find the most students. However, Rome is a very big city, with many universities spread all over the city. So you will probably find a lot of students whichever area you choose to live in. Another very important point that cannot be missing of this guide is, of course, the gastronomy. Roman gastronomy is incredible. So during your Erasmus in Rome, you will be able to immerse yourself in the exquisite Italian cuisine. Some of the typical dishes that you can't live without trying are the spaghetti carbonara, as this is the most international dish of all. But it's true that sometimes the recipe has been distorted quite a bit and has little to do with the original, as its main ingredients are beaten and raw eggs, guanciale, which is an Italian bacon, pepper, and Italian pecorino, which is sheep's cheese. Another popular dish is pizza al taglio, which are actually street stalls selling individual pieces of pizza. Another popular dish is abbacchio alla romana, which is lamb stewed with roast potatoes sautéed in oil, garlic and diced ham. You can also try bucatini alla matriciana. It's a traditional pasta dish made with a sauce based on guanciale, pecorino cheese, tomato and onion. And finally, porchetta d'Ariccia. This dish originates from Ariccia, located on the outskirts of Rome, and it's baked pork with aromatic herbs, salt and pepper. As a recommendation of areas where you can try Italian cuisine, we recommend you to go to Trastevere, but also to the neighborhood of San Lorenzo, as it's less touristy than the previous one and a little bit cheaper. And there you will find many places to eat and have a drink. And of course, another point that couldn't be left out of this guide is partying. In Rome, you can go out partying practically every day of the week, as you will find a large number of bars and pubs. What many students do is to meet up in a square in the city to have a drink. It's also very important to know that many parties are organized by the student associations, and by being a member you can get discounts in many bars. Some of the bars and clubs where parties are organized for Erasmus students are Cube, Materia Club or Teatro Centrale. When it comes to the cost of living in Rome, let's not fool ourselves. Rome is not the cheapest city in the whole country, but don't worry, you will find a wide variety of entertainment venues semesters in Rome at affordable prices. Besides, you will be able to save money thanks to the great amount of student discounts. You have to keep in mind that one of the biggest expenses will be the rent of your accommodation. And although it depends on many factors, in general, a room in a shared flat costs between 400 and 550 euros a month, more or less. In any case, if there's a good advice we can give you from Erasmus Play is to start looking for your accommodation well in advance, so you can find more options available and find cheaper accommodation. Another considerable expense you will have will be transport, but there are monthly and annual passes, which will help you save quite a lot of money, as the monthly pass costs about 35 euros and the annual pass costs about 250 euros, more or less. Continuing with some of the places not to be missed in Rome during your stay, here are some of the most important ones. The first one is obviously the Trevi Fountain, probably one of the most beautiful fountains in the world, not to be missed. You should also visit the Roman Colosseum, which is Rome's most visited monument. You also have the Pantheon, which today is one of the best preserved monuments and one of the most influential in ancient Rome. The Plaza de España, which is a very busy square and is characterized by its monumental staircase. And of course, the Vatican City, where you cannot miss St. Peter's Square and Basilica or the Vatican Museum. And a very important part of the Erasmus is the ability to travel easily both within Italy or to other parts of Europe. The best way to move from Rome to other parts of Italy are by bus or by train. And if you want to travel to other European countries, you can do it by plane, as the capital has 2 airports. And of course, we are going to mention some places you cannot miss during your stay in Italy. The first one is Naples, which is only 1 hour by train and is one of the biggest cities in Italy. You should also visit the Amalfi Coast. It's today one of the most trendy destinations, and we recommend you to visit Positano or Amalfi. Then you can go to Pompeii. It's one of the best examples of 1st century Roman cities. The city of Siena is also worth visiting and is about 3 hours away by bus from Rome. And lastly, we recommend you to visit the city of Florence, which is probably one of the most beautiful cities in the whole country. And finally, before this video ends, here's a few tips you shouldn't miss. The first one is obviously not to forget to ask the Codice Fiscale. You should also become a member of the student associations. And above all, if you come from a European country, you should ask for the European Health Insurance card. That's it for today's video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and to activate the notifications bell to be advised whenever we upload a new video. We also leave you our social networks right below in the description box. And that's it. Bye bye, assistant!